What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Now today we've got a massive game and a massive result for the Kolkata Knight Riders. Now, as a Punjab Kings fan, this is the last thing that I wanted to happen, was Kolkata to win, and obviously we'll get trust me, we will get to the Kings game after this one. I will definitely be reviewing the Kings game. I've got a lot to say. So stay tuned for that one. But hey, we're here to talk about DC versus KKR. KKR win comfortably in the end, I would say. 3 wickets with 10 deliveries left. I would probably call that comfortably. Player of the match, Sunil Narine. He did bowl well. It was a spinning track. It was a real spinning track at Sharjah. The pitch was quite flat. And it looked early that it was going to be a comfortable batting pitch. Shikhar Dhawan and Smith started terrific, but Sunil Narine took that wicket of Shreyas Iyer, and it just kind of pushed the tide in favour of bowling it. Every delivery from spin just stayed low. It would still spin, and it would they'd pitch it at around where 5th stump would be of off stump, and it would just come back in but stay really low around their shin, and they're the hardest deliveries to play. But hey, let's jump straight into the scorecard. Delhi Capitals, of course, sent in to bat first. Mr. Steve Smith. I hope you're clapping at home, because Steve Smith, 39 off 34, 4 fours, nice strike rate of 114. He's back. Big smudgy boy is back. Now look, 39 off 34, he looked in such good touch. For a guy that hasn't played one game. He's played 3 games this whole season. He should be playing more games for Delhi. Now, I understand that, Prithvi Shaw wasn't playing. So that's the reason Smith was in there and he was playing and opening. But you cannot drop Steve Smith after making 39 in the next game. You either find a position for him. And this is something that I wouldn't mind. Shimron Hetmeyer hasn't been in great form. What I would do, I would probably just slot Steve Smith in there at number 5. So, look, of course, down from opening to number 5 is a bit of a change, but Steve Smith is way too classy to not be in your team. They've got Shimron Hetmeyer in there at number 5, who isn't offering a whole lot with the bat, and Steve Smith would offer a lot more. He could even be your finisher to put on the last 20, 30 runs. Steve Smith has to play. Good stuff, Smudge. Shikhar Dhawan, 24 off 20. Started like a house on fire. Again, I thought he was going to go on and make 100 in about 50 deliveries at the start. But then he just didn't. Lockie Ferguson, he really jammed the ball up. He bowled well, Ferguson. For a pitch that wasn't giving a whole lot of movement and a whole lot of bounce, he bowled incredibly well, Ferguson. New Zealand is going to be very dangerous at the World Cup. Super dangerous. They're probably my favourites to win. I honestly think New Zealand will win the T20 World Cup. I mean, they're looking dangerous. We'll get to that in another video, but yeah. Again, got Dhawan out for 24. Shreyas Iyer, again, it stayed low from Sunil Narine, and Shreyas Iyer, who we know is a great player of spin, just couldn't read that one, and I don't think too many people would have been able to read that sort of delivery. Pant, he provided a lot of late runs, but 39 off 36, he did his best. Shimron, again, 4, not providing a whole lot. Lalit Yadav gone for 0, Patel gone for 0, Ashwin gone for 9. As we know, Ashwin, he was ready to throw some fucking hands, wasn't he? Ashwin was out there, he was ready to start throwing some punches with Tim Southee and Owen Morgan. And then he obviously ended up getting Owen Morgan out, which was interesting. But we love that. We love to see the passion on the pitch. I wish there was more of it, to be honest. Rabada not out. Avesh Khan run out off 5. So, into the bowlers, Sandeep Warrior, none for 15 off 2. Tim Southee, 1 for 29 off 4. I believe that was his first game back in a long time as well. So, good stuff on your Southee. Ferguson, again, bowled incredibly well. Only bowled the 2 overs. Obviously, they wanted to bowl a lot more of spin, but, I thought he bowled quite well. 2 for 10 off 2. Chakravarthi, none for 24 off 4. Everyone who was who every spinner was having a great game except for Chakravarti. He just couldn't seem to really... I mean, his economy rate was pretty good, but, just couldn't pick up the wicket, but that's okay. Narayan, again, deserved player of the match for sure. 2 for 18 off 4. And Venkatesh Iyer. I mean, this man can open the batting. He can make a half century with the batting, and then he can come on in the depth and bowl Yorker after Yorker to not bleed that many runs. 2 for 29 off 4. But his last over with the ball was incredible. This guy has burst onto the scene this year, and that's all it takes for some players is to just get the opportunity and they take it. And that's the definition of Iyer. Venki Iyer. So, he is looking solid out there with the bat and ball in hand. So, he reminds me of a Cameron Green for Australia. Can bowl quick, can bowl good, and then can bat very, very well. Obviously, they bat, different positions, but, very good. Knight Riders, you look at it, they only had to chase a 128 to get the win. But on this sort of pitch, anything could bloody happen. So, Shupman Gill and Iyer, again, started off nice. A nice little 30 for Gill. Venkatesh Iyer, only 14 or 15, but, it was a good delivery from Lalit Yadav. Rahul Tripathi gone for 9. And Nitish Rana with those late runs. I mean, for a guy who bats at number 4, he was really the anchor through this whole innings. He played some very solid shots, especially late to get them well-needed runs. Owen Morgan, mate, the door's that way. Door is bloody that way, Mr. Morgan. I mean, seriously, back to Ireland. Back to goddamn Ireland you go. He is just not having a good series at all, especially in this second half in the UAE. He is not playing well. And I know that he's the captain, and he's a good captain for that matter. I mean, their team is still winning, but there becomes a time when you've got to do the captain thing and say, someone should be playing in front of me. Because there has to be a better option with the bat than Owen Morgan. Dinesh Karthik could, you could let Tripathi captain, you could let Dinesh Karthik captain, you could even let Sunil Narayan captain for a game or two just to see what happens. But I know they don't want to change too many things, and when you're the captain, you've got to lead from the front, so you can't just drop yourself out. So obviously he won't, withdraw himself from a game. But in saying that, he's not in great form. So coming into finals, because I imagine KKR will probably make finals from here. They're beating the best teams in the league, so they probably deserve to be there more than anyone else in that 4th position. So he's going to have to find some form. DK Karthik, he almost got his head taken off by bloody Rishabh Pant earlier in the game. 12 of 14. Narayan, late runs, 21 off 10. Southey, Ferguson, didn't have to do anything. It was a pretty comfortable run chase in the end. They lost a few wickets pretty late just because they were trying to finish it. They could have easily been 5 down and got the win. So, it was a really comfortable win in the end, to be honest, from KKR. The bowlers, Anrik Norte or Nordegay or Nordegy or fucking whatever your name is. Your name's too hard for me, mate. 1 for 15 off 2.2. Axar Patel, very, very good economy rate. He did slow down the middle of that. Early in the game, he did slow down a bit of the run flow. So, he's going to need to do that at the World Cup as well. None for 13 off 3. Ashwin, 1 for 24 off 4. Yadav, 1 for 35 off 3. Avesh Khan, 3 for 13 off 3. He's having a terrific season. He is going to finish as a top 5 wicket taker of this season, I believe. So, he's had a great season for Delhi Capitals. And one of the main reasons that they're, top of the ladder, or they're second now. But, yeah. Rabada, 1 for 28 off 3. One of those was actually a wicket maiden as well, I believe. So, credit to him. Again, they come away with a pretty comfortable win. We'll jump to the table. CSK are now on top after a DC loss. RCB in 3rd. You would imagine, again, RCB, they're in there at 3rd, but I don't think anyone's really going to take that position away from them. KKR and Mumbai Indians are the 2 teams fighting for that 4th position. Unfortunately, with the Kings losing to Mumbai, we're probably out of the finals race now, which is just fucking great. Which is just amazing, isn't it? Oh, I can't wait to do the Kings review. I've got some words to say. I mean, we can still mathematically make it, but the way we're playing, we don't deserve to make it. So KKR, Mumbai are both fighting for that 4th position. Kings, Rajasthan, and then Sunrisers. I mean, I think Sunrisers have, packed their suitcases and got on the first plane out of here, to be honest. We'll have a look at the stats. Shikhar Dhawan now on top with the orange cap. Sanju, Rahul, both hot on his tail, so anything can happen. So it's going to be a tight race for that. Harshal Patel, I mean, he's already won the cap. I mean, unless Avesh Khan takes a 10-fer in the next game or something like that, like a big 6-fer, can still happen, but unlikely in T20 cricket, I would have thought. So Patel, Khan, Muhammad Shami's around there, nothing else really to talk about, I don't think. So, hey, that is going to cap it off, guys. Shout out to KKR. I mean, they're proving everyone wrong. Everyone thought coming into this second phase that they would not put up much of a fight, and here they are. They're probably going to finish 4th. They've beaten DC. They've beaten RCB. Who else have they beaten? Did they beat CSK or did they lose? I can't remember. But they've beaten some good teams. So, if you're a KKR fan, you're pretty proud of your team's efforts. But hey, that is going to cap it off, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.